What in the heckatarnations is going on with the Python Software Foundation lately? First, First, they refused to stop their discriminatory policies. And so they turned down $1.5 million from the US government because the US government was like, here's $1.5 million. All you have to do is not discriminate against people. And Python was like, nah, it's pretty important that we discriminate against people and we continue our DEI policies. So we're going to turn down the $1.5 million, which interestingly, that's roughly the size of their budget deficit. Seriously, the Python Foundation could have been in the positive in their books if they had just said, all right, I guess we won't discriminate against people anymore. But they were like, no, we won't do it. And now they're piggybacking on their bizarre virtue signaling of refusing to stop discrimination. I don't know what the heck's going on there. And they've launched a Python is for everyone marketing campaign. And it is quite possibly one of the weirdest DEI infused marketing campaigns I've seen in a while. I'm just going to read a little bit from what I posted over on X because it's freaking brilliant. The Python Software Foundation is taking a decidedly DEI inspired approach to fundraising. Quote, the Python Software Foundation doesn't just support events, they support movements, creating a welcoming and inclusive space. Python is for everyone. Now, this literally is the name of their marketing campaign. Python is for everyone, and everyone is in all caps. So supposedly they really mean everyone, right? But here's the thing. There's a few things that are weird about this. First, that implies that other programming languages are not for everyone, right? Like, why come out and be like, well, Python is for everyone. Okay, great. So is JavaScript not allowed to be used by Koreans? like, right? Like, okay, so if you're from Zambia, are you not allowed to use C++ anymore? Like, is there a programming language that is not allowed to be used by some people? Like, does that exist? I can't think. I racked my brain about this. I can't think of a programming language or a programming framework or something where you aren't allowed to use it because of your ethnicity or gender or identification or whatever. I can't think of it. It's a bizarre marketing campaign. That as a slogan is weird. And I get that they're trying to virtue signal with all of it, but it's a strange one because doesn't that phrase, the programming language is for everybody, apply to every programming? Yes, it does. And of course, it's strange that this follows exactly right on the heels of them turning down $1.5 million because they refuse to stop discriminating, right? And then they talk a lot in their marketing campaigns about how this is a movement. Python is a movement, and they support movements and making welcoming and inclusive spaces for people to explore programming and those sorts of things. And as I was looking through the marketing materials, something struck me. I'll see if you can figure this out. For those of you watching the video version, notice the pictures that are up here right now. These are pictures that Python Software Foundation posted to promote the Python is for everyone marketing campaign. And so I went looking through it, and I decided to, and I kind of hate doing this, but I decided to kind of tally up the people that they've posted because there seemed to be a consistency. All of the pictures, and I mean all of them, posted to social media specifically for the Python is for everyone marketing campaign. And it includes 16 people. There are pictures of 16 people. There are no white people. There are no Asians. There are just black people, 16 of them, 12 black women and 4 black men. And that's it. That's all. That's the entirety of the people pictured in their marketing campaign for Python is for everyone. There's not a single token Japanese fella. There's not a singular token Hispanic lady. Nothing. Nothing at all. It's just 12 black women and 4 black men. Now, here's the thing. I have no issues with them posting pictures of anyone of any ethnicity. I don't really care. But when the whole point of your marketing campaign is that you're for everyone and you definitely don't discriminate, to only post pictures with a lot of people that are of people of a specific, ethnic identity or whatever, that's weird. That's a little bit weird. Now, so I'm going to go on a limb, a crazy limb, and I'm going to say that black women probably do not account for 75% of Python developers. So it's not exactly representative, right? Considering the creator of Python, Guido, is a white dude. That's a white European dude. I'm guessing this is not really representative of actual Python developers. That's not to say there's not black Python developers. In fact, I know some of them. There are. But this is not representative. And so to say this is for everyone is a little bit weird. But I wanted to see if this was a fluke. Right? So I scrolled through Python's social media posts looking for pictures they were posting, right? This was all about what pictures are they posting? Is this a constant thing with them, or do they normally post pictures of a lot of different types of people, right? A lot of different ethnicities and family lineages and people from different regions and whatnot. Do they do that? Do they actually post about diversity? Do they actually post pictures that suggest Python is actually for everyone? Well, I did find one additional picture. I found one person. This is from the last, 5 months worth of social media posts from Python. I found one more picture of a person, and it is a gay guy being ridden by an inflatable unicorn. This is a very real thing. Here's the picture. So the pictures that the Python Software Foundation posts, right? So these are pictures that they post to social media, are 12 black women, 4 black men, and a gay white guy being ridden by an inflatable unicorn. I mean, so this is what the Python Software Foundation means by everybody. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's just weird. Like, are they free to do this and market themselves this way? You betcha. Go nuts, Python. Is it weird? Yeah, it's weird. When you combine this together with them having turned down the $1.5 million just so they could continue being discriminatory, and you combine it with all of this and that thing they did last year where they suspended a guy for mentioning that he liked this one SNL skit with Dan Aykroyd from like 45 years ago. 40, more than that, almost 50 years ago. Like, oh my gosh, like there's just so much bizarre going on here. Whatever is happening in the Python side. And oh, wait a minute, hold on. For those of you watching the video version, you may be seeing this picture on the left. There's this guy. I think it's a guy that's given the camera this look. You guys see the thing I'm seeing in the middle? He's got like the hang loose signs, and he's got his eyes down. And he looks like he's gonna bite your face, or maybe he's thinking about eating your brains or something. He looks like he'd be in a zombie, but like I don't know. It's just the look he's given the camera. Right? There's nothing else about it that's weird. It's just the look he's given the camera is crazy. And they chose this picture of him looking like he's thinking about murdering the cameraman as their Python is for everyone. Do they mean for people who want to eat brains? Is that what they mean by everyone? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all friggin' weird. There's an inflatable unicorn riding that guy. This is their marketing campaign. I don't know what to make of this. None of this makes Python any worse or better as a programming language. Like if you want to use Python, that's fine. I've done plenty of things in Python, and I dislike Python and I like Python. There's good and bad about it. But what in the heck is going on, man? What is this? The movement and the inflatable unicorns, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers for allowing me to show you pictures of a guy being ridden by an inflatable unicorn as the marketing campaign for, sorry, that's not the marketing campaign. That's just a picture they just wanted to post. The other pictures are for the marketing campaign for Python. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's crazy. It's weird virtue signaling. It's weird politics just injected into the software world. Wouldn't it be great if one day we all woke up and there was no need to talk about this anymore, right? Like if we just woke up one day and the programming language foundations, they put out a new release of a compiler. Or, hey, our interpreter is now faster. That's the news for the week. How great would that be? How cool would that be? Or, hey, everybody, we ported Python to a random old platform. Cool. I get to report on that. How great. But instead, every day we wake up to the guy that looks like he's going to eat your brains, weird discriminatory marketing things, and a guy being ridden by an inflatable unicorn. I don't want to call it deeply unserious, but it sure as heck is. Go to Lunduke Journal, or go to lunduke.com. That's the Lunduke Journal website. You can find all the ways you can subscribe to the Lunduke Journal for free on all the platforms. I highly recommend, if you allow me a moment, I recommend subscribing to me on X. Even if you're not really a social media person, you know what? Don't use X for a lot of other things. But I found X to be an incredibly useful way to post a lot of some of this news as it comes out. I'll make screenshots and post it up on X with notes and links as I get it. And it's a great way for me to compile together notes for the official shows of the Lunduke Journal at the same time as sort of giving all of you a heads up of some of the stuff that's breaking and some of the news that's coming out. And I'll also post random thoughts and various other things. And it's just kind of a great way to do it. So if you don't really like social media, just follow the Lunduke Journal on X. The link's all up at lunduke.com. It's nice and it's a free way to go. And of course, if you want to subscribe to the Lunduke Journal, officially, like become an official paid subscriber, I certainly wouldn't object. You help keep the lights on here and keep the Lunduke Journal ad-free and big tech-free and able to provide this commentary, to provide this news coverage, to provide this investigative journalism of the tech industry that no one else really can do, because if the other tech news outlets covered these things the way I do, they would be out of business. The big tech companies would pull their funding immediately, and they would just immediately go under. As is, they're barely staying afloat. But because of you, the Lunduke Journal can continue into the future talking about whatever we want to talk about. No big tech company can stop us. I mean, we can publish whistleblower leaks from anyone. We can talk about how they're doing strange political things with the unicorns and the whatnot, and we haven't any sort of concern about that. And that's all because of you. And right now there's a 50% off deal on Lunduke Journal subscriptions, monthly, yearly, and lifetime. The link is up at lunduke.com. And of course, just regularly, the normal price is already pretty amazing. But the 50% off means you can get it per month. I think the cheapest is like $2.25, something like that. It's crazy cheap, and every penny goes directly towards funding the Lunduke Journal. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, wait. And if you become a lifetime subscriber, you can go up on the lifetime wall. It's rad. These people right here, some of them are just anonymous are lifetime subscribers who specifically emailed me and said, "Hey, Lunduke, add me to the lifetime subscriber wall. I want to be up there. I want to tell the world that I don't care what they think. I'm going to speak my mind about what's happening in the tech industry." That's the lifetime subscribers right there. These are brave people. They got cojones on them. I don't add everyone, all the lifetime subscribers there, only people who ask for it. I'm not going to out you. So if you have a lifetime subscription, don't worry that you're going to suddenly show up on here and your boss is going to come storming into your office. It's only if you ask for it. But thank you to every lifetime subscriber and monthly and yearly subscriber. I couldn't do this without you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.